Hello, good evening. My name is Samuel, and Happy New Year. So today I come to discuss something most of us do at the beginning of the year, and within the first 1 month of the year, we give up on it already. So today I come with 10 ways to achieve the goals you've set in a year. It always begins with taking an action to write down and identify what are the goals or the targets you have for the year. You get to write them down. So after identifying the goals you have for the year, then you're supposed to move to the next step, which is writing them down. Yes, most of us have targets and goals at the beginning of the year, but we tend not to write them down. Writing down helps the brain to always focus and remember that this is what I have to achieve in the year and working upon it. So after identifying the goals, writing them down, then you're supposed to, let's say you wanted to learn how to drive and it's a goal for the year, then you're supposed to set off to begin off with this skill you need to achieve in the year. What does it take for one to drive? You need to go to a driving school. So you're supposed to get how many driving schools in your area can you attend, and then you also decide on the time you're supposed to take. If you might need to drive in the next 1 month or 2 months, then it means you're supposed to go for intensive training. So if it was, let's say, 2 hours a week of practice, then you might need to increase it to at least 5 hours a week, dividing it all throughout the week so that you know you keep practicing to perfect the skill, which will later help you achieve your goal. Ask someone for some advice. This is also very critical. Sometimes we set goals and minus advice. It happens more so in this part of the world where I live in Africa. People have goals, but minus clear advice from someone who is experienced in the area. So they end up failing very many times because they never asked for advice at any point in their on their journey to achieve the goal. So in the end, they don't achieve anything because they never asked. Now, going back to the actual goal, um, I've learned the hard way as someone who is growing up that the small steps we take in life always help us achieve bigger things. So if it was, let's say, driving, what you learn today, it might be little, but by the week, it might be helpful, and by the month, it might be more helpful. And by the end of, let's say, 2 months, you'd have achieved a lot. So it means um, taking the small steps on the journey. I'll use another example. It might not be driving. You might want to maybe pursue a postgraduate course at the university. Taking the little steps, registration, going to the university, checking out which course you would want to take, reading to get ready, preparing your brain to be ready to to study again. Maybe there are small steps, and then also organizing the tuition you might need, small step, but it's all taking you to the bigger step in your life. Then after that, you're supposed to try to do your best. Let's say you've gone to the driving school and you're taking the small steps on a daily basis. You try to do your best to don't compete with anyone else, but compete with yourself. That whatever you did today, whatever you do today, should be better than whatever you did yesterday. So taking the small steps and then making sure that you do your best on a daily basis to be better than yesterday. Then you might also take off some time to see how others did it before. You know, um, sometimes experience, not from your point of view, uh, experience from other people might also be very, very, very useful. So you might take off some time as you read, as you learn the driving. You might also be, learning from the other, case studies and stories other people have created at the because you won't be the very first person to attain the skill you want as a goal. So that means you're supposed to always read or go for case studies or listen to what other people have experienced before as you're pursuing your goal. Then um, you need, as someone with a goal, let's say, because we're setting this for a full year, you need to always review. As I was beginning, I told you that in this part of the world where I stay, people tend to set resolutions probably on the 30th of the 31st, but within the first month of the year, they stop pursuing whatever they wrote down as goals. So you need to review and check if the target was to learn how to drive. 2 months down the road, what have you done about it? Have you even started? Because if you don't do that, then you will easily give up. Then my last step will be, you don't have to give up. No matter what comes your way, you don't have to give up. If you begin, then set your mind straight that you're supposed to finish. You set your mind straight that you're supposed to finish, and by not giving up and doing the regular exercises and taking the small steps on a daily basis, finally you will achieve what you had as a goal in your head. But if you ever give up, even on of the first day of the month, if you set goals on the 31st and you start giving up on the first day of the year, then you can't achieve anything. So it takes resilience to, always push and make sure that you achieve your goals. I thank you for listening, and I sign out. Peace.